welcome back to the Snow Days Nerdcast. This time we have all three of us, but Bishop didn't want to be on camera because he's a little baby, so because he
Yeah,
called off yesterday, leaving me by my lonesome all day on a mower. And then
I'm
Matt,
I'm on my way to be a tummy ache survivor.
oh okay, yeah, well that was me the day before, so I think I got you sick.
It's like
Yeah,
a what's that movie with James Franco where his hand gets stuck in the rocks and he
oh,
also has a tummy ache
127, 127 hours.
127 hours, yeah.
and he survived his tummy ache.
It's oddly specific the amount of hours.
Yeah.
Kind of seems fake to me.
And then I have my little bootsy girl who's being a brat today, so she's gonna stay down here with Daddy.
Nice. Cool cat. Cool cat.
Cool cats and kittens.
Josh, I know you wanted to start with Shield Hero. That's too nerdy. Top 10 porn stars. Go. No, kidding.
You want to get us age restricted? We can do that. We can do
Yeah.
that for sure.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
but no, we're gonna start off. I gave some homework at the end of the last episode, and let's see what you guys thought about Shield Hero. It's one of my favorites. One thing I was telling you before we decided to do this was my only gripe about Shield Hero is that it has big highs but even lower lows, and that's always been my problem with it. But for me, the highs outweigh the lows. So, what do you guys think?
I'm 15 episodes into season one,
Mm-hmm.
and we talked about it a little bit the other day. It's cool when the action's going. When it's popping
Yeah.
off, it's real cool. Like, the fight scenes are awesome. I get the point of, like, everyone hates the shield hero.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, then you get into some of those slower filler episodes, and it's like, I find myself playing on my phone a whole lot. And then when it gets to,
Right.
like, the fight scenes, I'm like, wait, what's going on?
Right.
But so far, it's cool.
So you haven't gotten to the part with the cardinal yet.
Cardinal, no.
Okay, that's the best part of that season. So if you could do me a favor, push through. Just get to the cardinal because once that happens, it's it it's its highest moment because then the queen shows up. There's a whole lot. It's great.
Yeah, I've seen the Queen. I just
But
met
you haven't seen
Glass.
her with the group yet.
No.
Okay, that's the best part of the whole show. When she shows up and does her thing, it's great. It really is. It's one of the best things in anime, in my opinion. What happens here, kind of everybody gets their comeuppance, and it's great.
Bishop.
Bishop, Bishop, what are your thoughts?
I'm only a couple episodes in. Just because I really haven't had much time to watch it. Um, it started off like really good to me. I thought it was like a pretty cool show. It's kind of like a role playing game, and like they're being summoned into a world like that, so it's cool. The only thing I really didn't like, I mean, at least for me, I could like easily tell. Well, for one, no one liked the shield hero, but then all of a sudden, this girl was like, "Oh yeah, let me go with the shield hero," and I was like, "Yeah, she's gonna fuck this guy over."
See, I didn't see that coming at
I,
all.
I
I
saw
thought
that coming a mile away.
I thought it was
Yeah,
going to be the usual anime trope where she's the best waifu. That's what I thought was
yeah.
going to happen. I
For
really
like
didn't see it happening.
for like a split second, I was like, "Oh yeah, she's gonna be cool," but then I was like, "No, she's acting way too weird."
Yeah, it's very.
Mhm.
I was also thinking like, all right, so if it's like they're in like a video game, it's just how an NPC talks
Well,
because that's what it sounded like. So I was
so
like,
that
but at the
that's
same time, I
always
saw her like just screwing him over.
that them being in a video game is always the question in the back of their minds. But the 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 shield hero when he interacts with the other heroes, he brings it about like explaining to them that this is not a game.
Yeah.
These are real people, living beings. But the
Mm,
other heroes, they don't see it that way. They see it as a video game to them.
yeah.
Yeah, the Spear Hero is like constantly like, oh, I don't remember this part in the game.
Hmm.
And it's like, haha, nerd. You're not in a game.
Get
Which,
fucked, nerd.
dude, they, and I guess all animes do it. The Sword Hero is just the cool, like, edgy guy, right? Like,
Right.
Mm,
they, like, hardcore push that. He's like the Sasuke esque. Like, I don't even care, bro. I don't even care. We're gonna go fight a dragon. I don't even care. It's like, okay, bro, trying way too hard to be cool.
Hmm.
And then the bow heroes like they're like he's not trying to be cool, but like he's my favorite.
Yeah.
He's just fucking awesome. The bow and arrow is just fucking cool in general, no matter what. But yeah, Gary Bishop, like they went to this new world, and I even texted you guys like I started it, and I was like, I want to be in a new world. I texted you guys, I was like, we should play an MMO together, and no one
Yeah.
responded. It's cool. I'll just play by
Well,
myself.
no. Well, here's the thing. I didn't respond because you and I have discussed this several times about playing an MMO together, and then you never get online, so I can't play with you. So,
Which one?
we, we've talked about Star Wars. We talked about Digimon Masters, sort of, but we kind of
I
decided against it.
Yeah, I can't play that
Yeah.
game anymore.
And there was Final Fantasy. We were both going to pay for subscriptions, and neither one of us did it. So that's
Yeah,
fun
because
for
the
both
more
of
I
us.
look at it, like I played the demo and I was like, it's definitely worth $20. But I was like, I don't have like the $20 just to throw away right now
Yeah, I understand.
because I'm one of those people that like, I'll put a good 24, 26 hours in, and then I'm just like, all right, I'm done, and then I'm just out $20.
Right.
There's cool free ones. I'll have to
Uh,
search them up, make a list.
Well, Star Wars probably the biggest one of the free ones.
I could, but like in my one character that I'm pretty good into it. Like I got a couple hours. I'm stuck.
What do you mean you're stuck?
I I'm stuck between like an NPC and a corner of the wall, and I can't get out.
You sent a
Yeah,
message to support?
I did. They did not help with the depression, so
All
do
right, I don't
not.
know then.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm definitely down. I'll just restart a character.
Oh, I'm not restarting any more characters. I think I've got one in every faction and every class, so I'm not restarting anything.
Bishop, you
Now I
okay?
had not all
Hmm.
of them. Not all of them are leveled out though. Like I know my rogue, he's not leveled out. My Jedi Sentinel is not leveled out, but I know I have a Sith warrior. He's completely level capped, and then a Jedi Knight who's completely level capped.
Oh,
But I have a bunch of stuff that I can play with easily.
yeah, we'll have to give that a shot. I'm just gonna start over. I'm gonna start a new character. I just want to be a Sith Lord.
Yeah, well that's my favorite character, so I wouldn't have a problem doing that, and I'll just help you through the storyline.
There we go. I might pick up Skyrim again online.
It's not first of all, it's not called Skyrim Online. It's called the Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah,
It's yeah. So yeah, I tried, and it's very similar to WoW. So there's not a whole lot of story to it. I think that's kind of why I dropped it. I don't play games just to run around in a world. I play a game to play the story.
yeah. Well, Final Fantasy. That's if you're looking story MMO wise. I think that's the best one. So I may dabble. I may drop $20 on it just to do it, just to play something.
Well, how much is it a month? That's the problem.
I couldn't tell you.
That's the problem with Final Fantasy Online is that there's a monthly subscription you have to pay.
Yeah. Anyways, Bishop, MMO wise, RPG. Any suggestions? Play play a game with the boys. I know you're a first person guy or first person shooter type of guy.
I really
Well, isn't
don't
there a
have
new game
any.
coming out from Bethesda called Redfall? I think it's a third person shooter, but it's supposed to be pretty sweet from what I've seen of it.
I haven't seen anything
uh,
about it.
I've heard of it, and I think it's that vampire game that they had someone play test, and it
Yeah.
looked like the guy had never played a video game in his
Yeah, I
life.
saw that. The guy, yeah, it looked like he was brand new. Some fucking dude who they just threw in there was like, "Here, play this game, and we're gonna record you and fuck over
Yeah,
Bethesda
Yeah,
yeah, it looked
because
like he
you look
never,
like shit."
Bethesda,
never looked like he touched a controller in his life.
Bethesda, hire me. I'll play any of the video games.
Right.
Uh, and then Josh, I know there was another thing you wanted to talk about,
Mhm.
and I want to piss some people off.
Well, let's get into that then. Um, Power Rangers, the new movie, Once and Always, I think it's called. Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on this, but Matt, I'm gonna give you the floor on this since you
I
have some thoughts that piss me off. So let's go ahead and
I
do
don't
this.
even need a lot of time
Hmm.
to tell you. Bishop, did you watch it yet?
No, because you told me not to, and like I'm
Yeah,
not like a
it's okay.
huge Power Rangers guy.
Well, good.
Like
They should
not anymore, not anymore.
save that hour of time and do something productive because it was
But it's only an
such
hour.
hot garbage.
It's only an hour long.
Yeah,
Yeah,
55 minutes.
that's why I said
And
you guys
I,
should watch it because it's not going to kill a bunch of time for you, and I figure it'd be good to talk about since it's new.
I
I,
mean, all I can say on it is I've heard it is hot garbage,
it is hot
and that is
garbage.
it.
It is hot garbage. I'll give you
Well,
my take. It
it's
was cringy.
who did you besides Matt? Who did you hear it's hot garbage from? Because all the reviews are for people who actually like Power Rangers. Absolutely loved it, like me. And a lot
Uh,
of Rotten Tomatoes has it at 83% right now, which doesn't happen very often. So, yeah,
I just seen like a bunch of things on Instagram, and I was like, and like I'm not saying the movie's like horrible, but like I just haven't been into Power Rangers for a long time
hmm
It was
because it seemed like a
bad
lot of
and
the stuff
cringy.
turned into like cash grab stuff, and I was like,
this was not that at all.
yeah.
I think that's one of the good because I made a good and bad list. My good far outweighs my bad. There is some bad. There's some really bad to it. But here's the thing about Power Rangers. Like one of the things I have in here for bad is bad acting. Well, let's be honest. In Power Rangers, they were never good actors. They were all martial artists. The only one who was an actress was the woman who played Kimberly, Amy Jo Johnson. That's why she went on to continue acting after this. But there's that, and then the other really bad was the Megazord fight was really bad. The CGI like I remember in the original Power Rangers they actually used guys in suits and then they just like zoomed in on them to make them look huge and they were on sets that looked like cities. So kind of like they used to do with Godzilla back in the day. But this one they went full CGI and it looks like they paid about $50 for whoever made the CGI on this because it's bad,
Well,
like really bad.
they
But
wanted to keep like the campy early 90s look, which
which if they
sure.
wanted to do that, they should have just put guys in suits like they did with the original show.
Yeah.
But they did. They decided to go CGI, and it's really bad CGI.
The worst part for me was just how cringy it was, and
Well,
it
that's
was just
if you go back and
terrible,
watch the original Power Rangers,
which I
it's
won't.
so cringy. It's so cringy now. And I loved it. I thought it was great for it. They kept the original vibe. They didn't go away from anything. I like that it's basically a love letter to the actress who played Trini and the actor who played Tommy because they both passed away. And I absolutely loved it about that. The suits are awesome. I like the robot Rita. The car, the Rad Bug is back, but it's a new one, and they actually have a license plate saying Rad Bug 2. Um, I love the juice bar. They completely remade it, which was great. I think there's some good CGI in it, like when they morph, the new morphing style is very good. I think that's good CGI. There's another part where they mention JJ, which you guys haven't read the comics, but in the comics, JJ is Tommy's son, and he takes up the mantle of the White Ranger. And they mention him twice, which leaves something open for the comics to come into play, which would be great if they did that. Um, if I'm getting into the bad, which I will, there were the girl who plays Trini's daughter. She goes so campy into the wows, and it's bad. It's too much, and they don't need to do it, and they do it too often. Um, there's a scene where she steals the rad bug and the whole scene was pointless. There was nothing to it. There was nothing that adds to the story whatsoever. Like she saves two people, and they just happen to be a gay couple, which I think that's the whole point. Because Billy, the actor who played Billy, he left the show because being gay back then wasn't as accepted as it is now, and I think he wanted to put something in there since he wrote this that's showing that it's more accepted. So I guess that's kind of the point, but you can cut that whole scene out and it wouldn't take anything away from the movie. There's some really bad dialogue in it, but like I said, in the original, there's a lot of bad dialogue. I think there's a whole lot that should have been cut out of this. And yeah, I can see where you don't like it, Matt, but as
Whoa,
somebody
whoa.
who's a huge fan,
I
I absolutely
not
loved
only
it.
don't like it, I hated it. With every being of hate that I can muster, I hated it. I'm mad I watched it. I'm mad I got the text to watch it. I turned it off I went upstairs and I thought long and hard on how I could get Bandai back for what they just did to me.
Did you
And I
pay
did,
anything to watch this movie?
yes, hard
What'd you
earned
pay?
time. An hour of my time that I could have been outside playing fetch with the dog. I could have been deck building, anything. Hated it.
This makes me rethink our friendship. That's how bad you're making me
Hated it.
feel right now.
Hated it so bad.
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was great. It's not like it's not something that it's not for everybody. It's for people who love Power Rangers, and I think that's why I like it so much. It's in 30 years I haven't seen anything about, or
The
well, 25 years I haven't seen anything this close to the Power Rangers I remember. I've seen nothing close to it, and now I got something that makes me remember my childhood because we talked about this in the last episode, Matt. Like for me, there was Power Rangers, and then 2 or 3 years later, we got Toonami and the anime block. So that's where my nostalgia falls into because that was my first viewing of Japanese television was the original Power Rangers. So when anime came along, I fell in love with anime because it was very similar to what I saw in Power Rangers, campy and strange and very different.
I thought they had a good thing going with the remake a couple years ago.
Yeah, we talked about this as well last time. I liked it too. But it's the same thing as Death Note where some people are going to hate it because it's not like the original. I could look past it because I understood it was a total remake. It didn't need to be the original. It was its own thing, which was great. Um, but a lot of people just hated the fact that it wasn't the original.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked the remake. It was just more geared towards today,
Hmm.
and I don't know. I thought they did a pretty good job. It had its moments. Uh, the final fight scene kind of paid homage to like all those other final fight scenes.
Right.
All in all, if you go in like how I went into it was I'm just watching another action movie.
Hmm.
Like I didn't have to go into it and be like, oh, Power Rangers cool, because I'm not a big Power Rangers guy. I never was. Like I found it like back in the day when martial arts movies were like huge. I didn't like the fake ones. I didn't like the over exaggerated like choreographed ones, like the kiddie ones. So I didn't like Power Rangers, but I liked. There was a really good one about the karate Olympic team, and it was super realistic. It was more realistic than like a bunch of teenagers doing pointless backflips.
Hmm.
So I was more into like the adult martial arts movies, which led to me being into martial arts. So going into the new Power Rangers or the once and always, I just still, even as a kid, I didn't like it, and then still today, it's just bad. It's again, it. And I say this about like all newer shows, but especially like Teen Wolf is a good one.
Hmm.
Random backflips, pointless. An explosion happens, and you're doing backflips and front flips. Like it's just over choreographed. It's
No,
just
I agree with
it's
you.
pointless
I
and
agree with you on that. But like I said, this was a love letter in my opinion, in excuse me, to Trini and Tommy. That's what it was. And like I said, I fucking cried when I found out Jason David Frank committed suicide. I genuinely did. I was very upset because he was always. I saw him at Indiana Comic Con 2 years ago, and he was the whole time he talked about self love, and then he commits suicide. It got me. It
no,
genuinely did.
it's a tough one, especially when you go into like mental health and stuff. But I thought it was good. They gave him a little tribute at the end. Uh, the end montage, I didn't watch all of it because I was just so happy it was over that I just turned it off. But it was I thought it was pretty cool they did that for those guys.
Mhm.
But I was super excited because again, I'm not like a big Power Rangers person, but before he passed away, he had announced Legend of the White Dragon or something.
Mhm.
So I was
Yeah,
kind of
it's done. I think it's gonna bomb, and the reason it's gonna bomb is for the things you just said, genuinely, because it's gonna be the same thing.
I don't know because the YouTube shorts he does are pretty good with a bat in the sun.
Right, but that's all he does. This is supposed to be. I mean, I'm hoping it is better. I really want it to be good because I think Jason David Frank is not a good actor. Never was. But he was a martial artist, and he will probably be the first person to tell you that. but he loved the character of Tommy so much that he just continued playing him for 25 years because people loved it. And this is not the same thing, but it is, because basically they couldn't get the rights to Power Rangers,
Yeah.
but it's their version of what they wanted to do, and I
But
think that'll be great.
they were doing another one too, and I'm not sure where I read it, but it was based on the Time Grid, Battle of the Space
That's
Grid or
well,
whatever.
that from what I understand, that's what this is.
Oh,
They
okay.
also have talked about if this once and always does well, they're going to do a Power Rangers series based off of the Time Grid, the comics.
Yeah, because they
That's
talked.
that's why I said I'm glad that they mentioned JJ, because JJ is the White Ranger in that.
Yeah, they mentioned in the newer one how all the Power Rangers are like connected through the Time Grid. So like they were
Yeah,
calling the Lost in Space or Lost Galaxy.
yeah.
Um, and there's another. They mentioned another one, another season, but
Well, if
pretty
you
much
look at
after Mighty Morphin, I stopped watching all of that
well
stuff.
the snake dude who was capturing all the other Rangers, they show like from Lost Galaxy to Dino Thunder to Ultimate Ninja Storm to the most recent one, which I can't remember the name of it. I remember seeing clips of it where like they could like take powers from previous Rangers
Yeah,
and morph into that's they showed one of those guys. It was toys, but they were mini people basically wrapped in the snakes.
yeah,
So there was a whole lot of mention of the time grid based off of that.
yeah. I saw that and the little dial thing. It was mentioned like Turtle Cove and the high school was on there. The spaceship from Lost Galaxy. So it was kind of cool to see like, oh, cool, they're all connected. But again, I don't know much about Power Rangers because I don't watch. I'm not a big fan of that stuff. Just doesn't pique my interest, and it never did, even as a kid, because it's just nothing to care about. I was much more into like the cartoons.
Well, you got the cartoons right away. I didn't. Like I said, Power Rangers was my first viewing of Japanese television.
Yeah, but even then, I liked other stuff way more than I liked Power Rangers. I think Beetleborgs was cool. I can't ever remember the name, Mystic Knights or something. They were basically Power Rangers in medieval times. That was pretty cool.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, I'll look it up. I'll send it to you later. It was
Okay.
the old Knights of something or Mystic Knights. But then, right after all those, is when like anime hit, and I was like, yeah, I'm deep into this shit. I love this. Bishop, Power Rangers fan, yay or nay?
Years ago, yeah. Not anymore.
Yeah, I could care less about it. Even when they announced the once and always, I was like, meh, just meh. Okay,
I was super excited and I liked it. So
well,
that's my thoughts on it.
you have your own thoughts. Fuck trash.
My thoughts are right, damn it.
Yeah, and
We're gonna have a war over this, and whether or not Power Rangers is good, that's the next war.
I'm not saying it's bad. There's obviously it's got a fan
You
base.
said it was a dumpster fire, and you're
No, this
genuinely upset
no
that
no no.
you
I'm talking about
lost time over this.
Power Rangers as a whole. I could see
Oh,
why
okay.
their fan base would stick by it and fight for it, but I watched it as someone that doesn't give a shit about Power Rangers, and God, was it awful. Just I there's a list of books I would rather read on my desk that I wish I spent an hour doing. But as a whole, for like the show itself, all the seasons, it's got a fan base. Cool.
Hmm.
I'm on TikTok. I see a lot of like grown men with memorabilia. Cool for your fan
Like
base.
me, like me.
But it's just something I've never cared about and probably never will because I'm not ever going to take the time to try to.
All right, fine.
Any animes, I'll watch those. Give them
Yeah.
a shot. I got a 3 episode rule. If they pass that, I have to finish them. But I can't do it for like live action series because some are just so bad and boring. Like as a kid, we were like,
I don't disagree with you on that. Yeah.
yeah. As a kid, we were like big Three Ninja fans. I loved the Three
Hmm.
Ninjas, but I think
Yeah, me too.
even that I didn't like it for the martial arts. I just liked it because I had brothers, and it was a movie about brothers, and I was like, I can relate. I'm the oldest. I
Mhm.
liked Rocky. Rocky was the oldest. But yeah, the more choreographed stuff, the over choreographed stuff, I was just never. It just bored me, and especially for the longest time, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong because I might be wrong. It was just a same episode every week until Tommy came around, and then it started to get some story behind it because it was
Mhm.
Yeah,
just
That's absolutely true. It was a monster of the week show.
yeah,
That's what it was.
that's 100% what it was.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then Tommy showed up and he was evil, and then it started to get kind of cool, kind of story. I do remember being hyped watching Fox Kids, and they were previewing next Saturday's episode, and you finally got the Red Ranger versus the Green Ranger,
Yeah,
and
that
I was
was
like,
great.
all right, that's gonna be cool.
The only reason I liked Power Rangers was Tommy. Because anytime
Yeah.
he was there, something interesting was happening. Other than that, it was like, oh, we're just going to do a bunch of fucking flips and da 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 da.
Yeah, I didn't like in
That's how most people feel, Bishop. Honestly, that's. I'll be honest. That's basically how I always felt. I
Yeah,
liked the show as a kid, but I really became a fan when Tommy came in. And then, like
yeah.
we were talking about this on the last episode as well. Like when when they went to Lost Galaxy, Tommy was gone, so I stopped watching. And then he came back in Dino Thunder when I was in high school, and I'm like, well, I guess I gotta watch this again. Here we go.
I think Lost Galaxy they tried to do a Tommy esque. I think it was this season with the Taurus Ranger. He had he he looked like a bull, but he was a Power Ranger. But like he had a sword that was a flute, and he would call
Hmm.
his giant Megazord, which was a bull. And I remember seeing that, and I was just like, "No, like the evil Ranger thing has been like
It was a
over."
trope at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, because they tried it again with Lost in Space. The Silver Ranger had the snake
Yeah, I
tattoo,
remember
and
that.
every time he
Yeah.
used his powers, the snake got closer to eating him. But I
Hmm.
was like, all right, like I get you guys want to inject a little bit of story into this, but we're just recycling shit at this point. We need to let's figure it out.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, everybody does it. You're never gonna get away from that. Like even like I think we talked about this on Midnight. Anime does it all the time. Like Goku and Vegeta. We know they respect each other, but if you're watching it, you're like, man, Vegeta hates that dude.
Right.
It's the same thing with Naruto and Sasuke. We know you
Hmm.
respect each other,
Absolutely.
but and then you watch any other anime, even Black Clover, adopted brothers or whatever, but then they like go their separate ways, and now we know you like each other, but in the show you don't
Mhm.
like. So you're never gonna get away from like the recycling of ideas for anything. But they were just like pushing it hard.
Oh yeah,
They
I feel you on that.
yeah, they introduced the evil ranger, and then the next season they're like, you know what we should do? An evil Power Ranger. And then the next season they're like, you know, it'd bring in a lot of money. An evil Power Ranger. It's like, all right,
Hmm.
bros, come on. I think they
Well,
even
even in Dino Thunder, they do it. They bring in a White Ranger who's evil, and then suddenly, oh, now we're best friends again. Yeah.
yeah, Speed Force, they did it, but this time he was a robot. And it
Hmm.
was like, okay, like we're switching one thing. It's you'll never get away from it. But if it brings in new audience, people seem to like it. I'd keep doing it for the money. Like
Yeah.
hell, heck it, everyone does it. Why not?
Right.
Can't beat them, join them. But besides that, going back to Shield Hero because I did just have another revelation. I do like the fact that Nafumi, I believe his name is. I hope I'm saying that right.
Hmm.
Hmm.
He's just a dick.
Well, not at first. He
No.
becomes a dick because they make him a dick.
Yeah. So his first like rage scene when
Yeah.
he loses the battle to the spear hero.
Yeah.
It was such a cool transformation, and then after that scene, he's just a dickhead, and I love it. Like that chick's the princess is like, "Hey, I'm the princess, and the queen's looking for you," and he's like, "Scram, nerd!" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Hell yeah, tell her to get the hell out of here."
See, that's my biggest gripe with the show is that it goes from this badass thing where he's trying to redeem himself in a way, and then all of a sudden, halfway through it, all of a sudden becomes a fucking harem anime. and I
Yeah,
don't like that. It did not need to happen, and I don't understand why that's the way they went.
that was my biggest gripe with Sword Art too. The latest season, Alicization. It was cool. You had this buddy dynamic,
Yeah,
and then towards the end, everyone's just back in love with Kirito, and it's like,
right.
and obviously, if you watch Sword Art, like you knew who he was gonna choose. Everyone's in love with him, but he's in love with Asuna, so it's like, all right, guys, come on.
Right, right.
And then he's in a wheelchair and all depressed, and it's like, this show's slow now. I mean, it picks back up, but it stays slow for like 4 or 5 good episodes up
Yeah.
until they find out that like the demons are rolling in, or
Hmm.
the underworld or whatever it's called. The underworld. Up until like they find out like, hey, war's coming, it slows down so much.
Hmm.
But like Sword Art's one of those ones where like even though it's slow, there's storytelling. So
Yeah,
like kind of filler episodes, but you kind of need to know what happened in them. To whereas other filler episodes, you're like we talk about, we bitch about all the time. Oh, there's the beach episode. I can skip this. Every anime's got a beach episode. Skip.
right.
I mean, manga does it too. Manga will
Matter
release
of
like,
fact, there in season 2, there's a beach episode of in Shield Hero. Like I said, it just suddenly turns into a harem anime. It's very upsetting.
yeah, I'll probably finish season 1 later today because outside of building decks, I have nothing going on.
I
Besides,
was gonna mow the lawn before I saw it was gonna rain, so I'm not doing that.
no, my it. I think it's still coming down here till about 1 o'clock, but it started
Yeah, it
late
is.
last night, which are good days. I like rainy days, man. I don't have to leave my house. I don't have to do shit.
Right.
It's always
I
a
gotta
good
do
time.
some laundry.
I'll probably clean up a little bit, and then when we're done here, I gotta make some lunch. But
All right, so then let's move on to our third topic, which was Street Fighter. Bishop, what's going on with Street Fighter?
I just seen a video where you can literally walk around and beat the absolute fuck out of anybody.
I saw
So
you
is it
fist
gonna
fight old ladies.
Yeah, basically.
so is it gonna be like actual open world, or is it gonna be like Dragon Ball Xenoverse, where like there's a city you can move around in, and that's about it?
That's like the only thing I've seen about it so far was just that official video where you can walk around and beat the dog shit out of anybody you want.
Okay. So kind of like Yakuza.
hmm
Okay, that'd be cool. I wouldn't have a problem with that. I'd like to get into that a little bit.
Like I don't know if it's like part of the story mode where you can just like if you're going to like your next story thing, you can just beat the shit out of an old lady.
Okay, I would.
I'm
So it's
s-
gonna be yeah. That's just like Yakuza.
I'm so down to beat the
Oh,
shit out of
okay.
old people.
What it says here on the official game page on Steam, it's called World Tour.
Hmm.
Explore the streets on World Tour. Discover the meaning of strength on World Tour in immersive single-player story mode. Take your avatar and explore Metro City and beyond. Meet masters who will take you under their wing and teach you their style and techniques.
That's pretty
And
cool.
also
So
beat the
that's
fuck out of anyone.
it's kind of like Yakuza mixed with Xenoverse, because Xenoverse has a very similar thing like that, where you have to find the characters in the show and then you learn their techniques.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's kind of like
that's
a
cool.
original Xbox. I can't remember which one. One of the Mortal Kombat's was like that. It was open world.
Oh yeah, and I love that one. And that's a
Yeah,
really good. Where you have to create your own character. Yeah, I remember
yeah.
that one.
But you could go and find like the main cast, and like they teach
Hmm.
you like their fight styles. I can't remember which one that is, but I do know it's one of them.
I want to say it's Shaolin monks. That's what
Maybe,
it sounds like.
maybe.
And it's like the only one that's like that in the Mortal Kombat series. Mortal Kombat otherwise is just a side-scrolling fighter.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. I like the open world concept. I'm a big open world
Me
guy.
too. Me too.
hmm
I really wish. I know we talked about this all the time. Every time they announce like an anime game, I want an anime game where I can create a character and it's open world. Like
Well,
I feel
like
like
there's
Demon Slayer would be such a good create a character open world video game.
yeah, that'd be a good one. Well, there's the that we talked about this on Midnight's. There's that guy who's making a fan-made open-world Naruto game where it's like that, and it looks cool as shit. I wish Bandai would pick it up and be like, here, we'll give you the money, fucking finish it.
That would be
That'd be
sick.
great. Yeah.
There's a big market a lot of those companies and these TV shows are doing TCGs now. So I don't know if they're focused on video games too much, but the Street Fighter though sounds really cool. I'm
Mm-hmm.
all down for just walking around fist fighting get to live my dreams, man. I wish I could do that in real life.
Yeah.
Right, no shit.
Clock into
Well,
work,
that's
boss
Oh,
says
really
something,
especially
just like
especially at work. Oh my gosh. See if any of them ever watch this and hear us talking shit.
uh, no, but that sounds fun. I wish that a lot more developers would do something like that because that is such a big or it could be such a big market, but it's such a small thing right now.
Hmm.
It's like they outside of your bigger games, there isn't a lot of like good creative character games out right now.
There's none. I agree with you. I
Like
mean, there was Elden Ring, which I still haven't fucking played. It's because it's never on sale, and I don't want to spend the $60-$70 for it.
I'll probably never
that
play. I'm not an Elden whatever that game style is. I'm just not a fan of.
Dark Souls.
Yeah, Dark
Dark
Souls
Souls.
type. Yeah.
That poor excuse of a Saints Row reboot.
Oh
It was
yeah.
supposed to have like a really good character customization, and I guess it did, but not like the old days.
From
No.
what I saw about it, there's like the game itself is barren. Like there is nothing
It
to do.
it looks like those shitty ass. Um, a good example. Those shitty ass CGI soulless GTA 6 uh,
Mhm.
trailers, the fake ones.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
That is exactly what that game looked like. And like I was hyped. I was like, oh, new Saints Row, dude. I love Saints Row. And then yeah, I seen like the very first gameplay of it. I was like, there's nothing here.
Right.
I'm in a desert with a empty city, and there's just no life in this game. This is a
Which
poor
which
excuse for a reboot.
which sucks because the old ones. I mean, it was the complete opposite. There was never. It was like Grand Theft Auto. There was no. There was no. There was so much to do. You could. You couldn't. No gameplay was exactly the same. Very
Yeah.
different every time you played it.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, going back to the creative character, just because I saw my poster, the Attack on Titan games had creative character, but you were just playing through like the first season.
I never
Because
played any of them. When I saw the trailers for them, I didn't like them. That's why I never played them.
well, even that like you got the creative character down, which was cool, but Attack
Hmm.
on Titan open world,
Oh, that'd be amazing.
dude, that'd be
That'd be so
sick.
much fun. And like make it like a survivor game too. So
Yeah,
you have like you gotta be stealthy. Oh man, that would be so cool.
that'd be
I'd be
fun.
down for that all day.
Yeah, I just thought about that too because I saw my poster, which why a reason like I haven't gotten rid of Minecraft on my computer is because people mod different animes into Minecraft, and it's like
Hmm.
they do have an Attack on Titan one. It's like if this wasn't Minecraft, it'd be great, like the perfect fucking game. But it's at its core, it's still Minecraft. So it's like meh. Like I watched a bunch of people on YouTube play it, like a team of 10 just going and mollywopping Titans, and I'm just like, I need that. I need that in my
Right.
life. But I want like an actual stamped Attack on Titan survival game. I think that'd be really cool.
Somebody made a Attack on Titan video game.
I keep seeing it on TikTok, but he said it's not released yet.
I,
I
I,
haven't seen anything about it.
I keep seeing like people playing it and shit, but like I don't know where you get it.
I've seen a VR version,
I was just about to
but
say,
that's
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, I was just about to
yeah,
say, Bishop, would you play a VR Attack on Titan game?
yeah. Sure, why not?
That'd be fun as fuck, dude.
Comes to work
Yeah.
shaking. What's
I
going on,
mean,
man?
I've played like a couple of crazy VR games, and they're both Boneworks and Bone Labs.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And like normally, I don't get sick doing that shit. But in Bone Labs, there's like a sequence where you have to drive a go kart, and I was about ready to puke because it was just so fucking weird.
I'm not a big vehicle guy in any video games, and it
Yeah.
stems from my disdain and mad hatred for the Mako in Mass Effect 1.
Mm.
That thing
Yeah,
sucked so
yeah,
bad.
I
The
agree.
controls sucked for it.
Remember in Halo 3, the when the before the updates came out, driving the Warthog was fucking impossible.
Yeah, then you have to like use like the analog stick just for
Yeah, it
everything.
was
Yeah, it
terrible.
was fucking dumb. Like I remember playing it, and I was like, how how do I go? Because like I play like Need for Speed and things like that, so I'm like hitting like the right trigger to go, and I'm like, why is the horn honking? That
Right.
still make no sense.
Dude, speaking of vehicles, because yesterday I went to pre-release and they were talking about Battlefront 2, the older one.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Remember the space battles, dude?
Oh
dude,
yeah.
yeah.
Where you had to board the
I'm
other person's ship and take out their shields and communications.
speaking of that. I am so upset. Like I wanted to cry because a news report came out that Battlefront 3, like the original Battlefront 3, was 99% done
Yeah.
before they got canceled, and they were already starting doing concept work on Battlefront 4, and Battlefront 4 was going to be like a what if game. So there was going to be like a cyborg um, Mace Windu with like a dark cord purple lightsaber.
Ooh, that was so
There
fun.
was I think Darth Maul was gonna have like the spider legs, like when we seen him in the Clone Wars again for the
Yeah.
first time. He was gonna have like the spider legs, but I think he was supposed to be a good guy.
I
I
need to
I,
go
I
back.
seen all this last night and I was like out of it because I was sick of shit.
I need to
But
go back and finish because I actually never finished Clone Wars.
the last season, like when they came back, I cried. I bawled my eyes out.
I might have to
Just
check it out.
just like when
It's on
Kenobi
Disney
ended.
Plus, isn't it?
Yeah,
Okay.
just like when Kenobi ended, I cried my eyes out.
Same.
Mhm.
Well, it wasn't like the ending; it was just like the end of
The
the
fir-
Darth Vader and Kenobi fight. I
yeah,
was
say.
crying in the club, but I was at work watching it, so I was like trying not to cry, but like tears were hitting my phone.
I think I'm pretty sure like when I ended, I texted you
Yeah,
and I was like, "What?" First off, Star Wars is just awesome, like all around. But what a beautiful fight scene.
I don't get how they could have like so much cringy shit in that show, but then that was just fucking perfect.
Dude, it was beautiful and
And
like
like the only way I rewatch it is if I go on YouTube, so I don't have like that all that in between bullshit going on, because that's like the only thing I want to watch. I don't want to see the stuff going on in between the fight. I just want the fight because like the fight is so good, and like the way they use like the lightsaber colors
oh yeah,
for Anakin, like when he's talking to Obi-Wan, so fucking perfect.
yeah. The
That's the kind of Star Wars that we need.
I know, but I think we've talked about this multiple times. I truly hope Hayden Christensen gets his Darth Vader series.
It would be great.
He's
They could easily do the Star Lord series by itself with Anakin as Darth Vader, and it would be fucking amazing.
he already said
Or
that
Star
he's
Lord. What did I say? Star Killer, Star Lord's Bardo.
yeah. He's already said that he's down to or he wants to do a Darth Vader series, which I was like, fuck yeah.
Right.
I want to see him just walking around shitting on people. I want more hallway scenes with him just absolutely terrifying people when he just ignites his lightsaber and that's all you see is the color red in his mask. I want more stuff like that because like I was thinking, since Disney, when we saw Darth Vader, we weren't gonna get a Darth Vader who did Darth Vader things.
Yeah,
But when he was walking through that town and ripped that kid out of the house and snapped his neck, I was
Prancing
like,
through the
huh?
street. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, huh?
well,
What just happened? Like, I had to rewind it because I was like, did I hear and see this correctly? So I was
Is
like,
this
there's
really
no
a
way.
Disney series?
I was like, there's no way Disney did this shit.
Right.
well, like I've told you before, when those movies first dropped, 4, 5, and 6, Darth Vader was like scary. Like people were
Yeah.
afraid of him, and then you got 1, 2, and 3, and you know it just wasn't as scary. So I
They
like them.
humanized him.
Yeah. So this, if we can get a series like that, like what Bishop was just talking about, where he's just evil and scary. Like there's no, it's like Kylo Ren, where Kylo Ren was supposed to be scary, but then you find out he's like this emo edgelord. Like
Hmm.
I just want a series the evilest of shit Darth Vader ever did.
Yeah.
Like traveling galaxy and killing Jedi's without blinking an eye. I want it so bad.
Like
Hmm.
a thing I really want to see is like I want to see um the whole like sequence of him having to go out and get a new lightsaber and
Oh, that'd be amazing.
and
Doesn't he?
and
Doesn't he get it on Mustafar?
I think he went to Coruscant and got it. I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly, but I know he went somewhere and killed a Jedi with his bare hands.
Mm-hmm.
Like 25 minutes after he, well, not really 25 minutes, but pretty much 25 minutes after he got his whole cyborg body put together, he just went and killed a dude with his bare hands and corrupted his crystal.
See,
But like
I
Yeah, he
I want to
forces it to
see,
bleed, right?
yeah, you got to bleed the crystal to make it red because
Yeah.
it's like putting like pain into the crystal.
want to see that
But
so bad.
I want to see that, and then I want to see more of his castle on Mustafar,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to see Darth Vader go fuck some shit up because like the hallway scene at the end of Rogue One, like Rogue One's a good movie, but like I mainly just watch it because I want to see the hallway scene because the hallway scene in that movie was fucking insane.
it is.
And that's like the Darth Vader I want to see because like even as a kid, like Darth Vader scared the shit out of me. But like I was in a when did Rogue One come out? I mean, I was basically an adult, but like seeing that like as an adult, I was like, holy shit, I'm scared of this dude even more now.
Yeah, but that, like Josh said earlier, they kind of humanized him so that we don't see like the pure hatred or the pure
Yeah.
evil that he is.
Well, what they did was they didn't want you to like instantly make you think like, yeah, this dude's Darth Vader. Like you had to like kind of think on it a little bit. Because there were people that seen the originals like, oh yeah, Anakin Skywalker sounds familiar, but I don't think that's Darth Vader. Um, they wanted to like show you his like descent into, I guess, madness.
Mm-hmm.
Because I
Yeah,
mean, like, there's episode one. He gets taken from his mom, even though he wanted to go, and he's force sensitive and all that bullshit. And then episode two, his mom dies in his arms, and he slaughters that whole entire village of the sand people.
Mm-hmm.
And then all the things that transpired in episode three. It's just showing you the amount of pain that he went through, like in his younger life before he became Darth Vader, and it shows you that whole transition from him being Anakin Skywalker to being Darth Vader.
yeah. Well,
And then in
especially
that scene where Mace Windu came in to arrest um,
Palpatine.
Palpatine, that's the moment he became Darth Vader when he, I mean, I don't know if he's dead, but quote unquote killed Mace Windu.
yeah.
Uh,
Well, that was the
but
thing too, is he didn't do all those things out of hate, which is the crazy
yeah,
part. He did them all out of love. And like
Right.
literally his whole thing was he watched his mom die, felt what it was like to lose a loved one,
mm-hmm.
and only wanted to become Darth Vader so that Padme didn't die. He just
yeah,
wanted to protect Padme because he loved her so much, and that's
yeah,
kind of what drove him crazy.
yeah. He had this power, this gift to help anybody he could want, but in the Jedi book or code, whatever you want to call it, it was not allowed because
Yeah.
it's a
Right.
Sith thing.
Well,
So like things like that make me wonder like are the Sith really the bad people or are the Jedi really the bad? Because they
Well,
have
no, the
like all these
Sith.
cool things they can do. Yeah,
well,
I mean
they,
like there's cool things they can do that actually help people out, but then at the same time those things have like a side effect like where they're like literally draining the life out of these people and getting stronger from them.
well,
Yeah.
it's been confirmed that the reason why the fight between Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Darth Maul is called the Duel of Fates is it's the fate of Anakin
Yeah,
because so the dark side won the Duel of the Fates because Qui-Gon died.
yeah,
Qui-Gon actually understood the real Jedi code in which
yeah,
the Jedi are supposed to love. This idea that they're supposed to be celibate and fucking,
yeah,
they're what's the word, priests basically. That's
yeah,
not real. That wasn't that was the corruption that the Jedi Order had befallen.
yeah,
So if Qui-Gon never would have died, we could have had a totally different story. And I think
yeah.
again that's why it's called the Duel of the Fates.
The other thing on that too, like Qui Gon, everybody thought he was a Sith for some reason, and that was just because he always went against what the Jedi Council had to say.
Because they were
Because
wrong.
yeah, they were always wrong, and he knew the
Yoda
right
starts to
way.
see it during
Yeah,
the second movie.
yeah,
They show him starting to see that there's something wrong here, and
yeah,
he's starting to see it. That's why Yoda teaches Luke, even though Luke is far too old to be taught the Jedi way.
yeah,
But he teaches him because Yoda realizes in movie 2 and 3 that what they've been doing is wrong.
yeah. Like Qui Gon was, I forget what they called him exactly, but he was more of like a gray Jedi, where he didn't necessarily follow the Jedi code just
Mhm.
because he thought the Jedi code was not right, and he was
Yeah.
right. I mean, Qui-Gon was one of like the most powerful dudes you could go up against, and he was like one of the
He was
most
a true,
wisest guys.
he was a true Jedi master.
Yeah, he was almost as wise as Yoda.
Hmm.
And that's why, again, that's why it's called a Duel of Fates. If he never died, the whole thing of Star Wars would have been completely different.
Right.
That was such a mind blowing moment too. The first time I watched
Yeah.
that, because it was like the bad guys won. Like you didn't get
Yeah.
that. You don't get that a whole lot,
Exactly.
especially like with 3 also. Like, yeah, Anakin died, but like Sidious got what he wanted. And
Right.
you're like, damn, dude, like this whole space opera is just the bad guys winning in the end. And then you get to like the last episode where he takes off his mask and Luke, confirms it's his dad, and then she's like, finally, like
Right.
one for the good guys, damn. But like, yeah, 1, 2, and 3, it's just like, oh shit, the bad guys just keep winning. Even like in 2, Count Dooku just mollywops Anakin. It's like, what the
Well, that
fuck?
that
Yeah.
that has to be what happens because remember the original Star Wars movie, which is Episode 4. The Empire has taken over the galaxy.
Yeah.
So in 1, 2, and 3, the bad guys have to continue winning in order for Episode 4, 5, and 6 to make sense.
Well, I know that. I'm just saying, as like as a kid, and you're watching that, like even for like me as a big nerd, where I'm watching anime and the good guy wins in the end, and then you
Hmm.
watch Star Wars and the fuck is going on? These fucking bad guys are
Well,
OP.
let me ask you this: did you see the original trilogy before you saw the prequels?
Yeah, my real dad was a huge Star Wars nerd.
Okay.
So like I had all the toys, collectible. They used to do a board game. I had those. So like my dad, like not forced us to watch Star Wars, but like would feed us Star Wars content. So I saw the original 3, and then when 1, 2, and 3. For 3, I know I went to theaters, but for 1 and 2, I was just a little too young to like sit in a theater and like pay attention.
Yeah,
So
I was like 10 when the first one came out.
yeah, I remember watching them, like renting them when they came out on VHS, but definitely too young to like go to the movie theater and sit still.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm since I was like born, I think my dad was always a huge Star Wars guy. So I've had Star Wars like my whole life. I still didn't watch Clone Wars though.
That's what Bishop and I were just talking about when you got
Yeah,
up.
You gotta watch it.
maybe I'll start
I've,
that.
I know I
It,
watched
it
like the first 3 or 4 seasons and I just never finished it.
it elaborates on so much shit, and it's so beautiful.
I know.
Like the ending is just so beautiful.
I gotta watch Mandalorian, the newest season of Mandalorian too.
Still
Yeah,
waiting
I gotta.
for it to. Once it finishes, that's when I'm gonna binge it in one night, like I always do, and then we
Yeah,
can talk about it here.
I
Yeah,
gotta. I gotta get moving on that. I gotta watch that. I watched like 4 episodes or 3 episodes, I think.
Did you guys
But
watch the
then I got
Boba Fett
distracted doing
series?
stuff. Uh, yeah.
you mean the Mandalorian
It's
season 3?
yeah the Mandalorian
Basically,
filler
yeah.
episodes.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. I
Yeah,
agree. It's it could have been so much, but it's just like the trope with fucking Boba Fett is like, oh, he sounds cool as shit, but when you actually see him do something, he fucking sucks.
yeah.
Yeah, I
They dumb that
mean,
character down.
Yeah.
like back in the day when they like first announced Boba Fett, like it was like the coolest thing
Oh
ever.
no, we got post dogs.
Like they announced him, and he was like, instead of like having the colors he has, he was all white, and they announced him at a parade, and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, dude, this guy looks cool as shit, cool as fuck. Yeah, dude, I can't wait for this." And then he has like 2 lines and dies.
Yeah,
Well, quote unquote dies. I'm like, okay.
yeah. I started that. I was kind of excited about Boba Fett, and then it wasn't Boba Fett. It was the chick that's with him. Was like, I know who to call. And then the Mandalorian music played. And I was like, all right then,
Right.
that was
Yep.
cool. Let's not
Like,
elaborate.
Isn't
I
there
wish.
like an entire episode that's just the Mandalorian? It's not
Yeah,
even about
Yeah.
Boba Fett.
it's
Yeah, he's
him fighting Pre Vizsla with the dark saber.
yeah,
Well, that the armorer and then him.
and then the ship.
Yeah,
He's gotta get that ship ready. It's a whole episode. It's like
Yeah,
wait, this is a Boba Fett show, right?
yeah. I thought this was the book of Boba Fett, not the
Right.
Mandalorian book.
which is crazy because I'm I didn't think I'd like the Mandalorian because I'm a huge Jedi fan, and there was no Jedi's. But like I'm
Yeah, I'm
also like
same
a
way.
kind of like a big Western guy,
Yeah.
and the fact they mixed Star Wars with a Western, I loved it. And now that they're bringing Jedi into it slowly, I'm like, oh, come on.
Well, the original Star Wars, like Episode 4, is a space western. It's
Yeah.
marketed as such.
Yeah, the what is it? It's called a soap.
That's
It's
why
a
that's why
space
they're on
opera.
the. It's a space western. That's why the first movie is mostly on Coruscant because it's in the desert. It's a total space western. That's what it's supposed to be, and it to me it always plays as such. It becomes an opera going into 5 and 6.
Yeah, but the Mandalorian, I was iffy about starting it. Watched the first season, loved it, but then it got I don't know. It just kind of got annoying. All right, like the story is good, but it's paced weird.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm.
now I find myself like, okay, who saved Grogu? Like, I don't give a shit about any of the Mandalorian taking off your mask, building armor. I don't give a shit. I need to know.
They show it in this new season. I saw a clip on TikTok. I had to swipe out of it so I didn't get a
Uh,
spoiler, but they show who saved him, and
Yeah,
it's a big deal because yeah, well, I mean the actor they got to play the person who saves him is the actor who played Jar Jar Binks, which
yeah,
that dude deserved a redemption character because he got death threats for Jar Jar,
yeah.
and it wasn't even his fault. He was just playing the character that Lucas made.
Yeah.
yeah. What about the
I don't
fan
even
theory
know
that?
what was so wrong about Jar Jar Binks. Like, he was just like the comic relief.
So, have you guys heard the theory that Jar Jar Binks was supposed to be the actual villain?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's true. The more I watch and go back and watch, I fucking believe it. And I think George Lucas fucking pussied out because I think that's what was supposed to happen, and he just said, "Yeah, people hate this fucking character too much to make him a central focus." So they brought him back, and then it's actually Palpatine's the real bad guy.
yeah. Which was another like, if you go into it like not knowing anything about Star Wars, I could see why people were like so mind blown by that.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, if you watch them in order one, two, three for the first time, you're just like, oh shit,
right.
that makes sense. Like my
Hmm.
man controls the Senate, which I was just telling my brother yesterday on the way home from the tournament. I'm not a big replay guy. Like I don't rewatch movies. I don't replay video games. Once I beat them, there unless they have different endings, then I'm done.
Hmm.
I could watch Star Wars all day,
Oh yeah, for sure.
like nonstop. And it's one of those. It's just a series that never gets old to me. Like Lord of the Rings, I got one watch. I can't go back and rewatch Lord of the Rings. Love it. It's good. Just can't rewatch it. But Star Wars, yeah, I'll watch that. Literally today, I will watch episode 1, 2, and 3 again.
I might need to do a weekend where I just watch every movie. Maybe not the sequel series, but at least the first 6.
Nah, I'm not watching 7, 8, 9 again.
Yeah, I don't think I will.
Nah, I can't.
Let me ask you something. What's your guys' thoughts on when it comes to the sequel series? I'm of the mindset that Episode 7 is just a remake of A New Hope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I 100% believe it, especially because I did watch it
Uh,
again.
Mark Hamill
Uh,
made a video, and he was like, it starts off in a desert. There's a youngling in the desert who gets a ship, goes into whatever, finds a lightsaber, yada yada yada, and then faces the big bad guy at the end.
right. It's
And he
this.
and then he was like, "What does that sound like?"
And they even have the world destroying machine.
Yeah,
It's the exact same movie.
I mean, he literally like word for word, scene for scene, broke it down, and he was like, "Doesn't this sound a little familiar to you guys?"
yeah,
And like at first, like someone was like, "No, that doesn't sound familiar at all." And he's like, "How about you think a little more on it?" And he was like, "New desert planet, this and that," and then the guy's like, "Oh, yeah, it does sound a little familiar." And I'm like,
Right.
it's literally just a remake of Episode 4.
yeah. I think I'm gonna start Clone Wars today. Now I'm
You
all
should.
excited about it.
I might too.
I'm gonna watch it with
actually,
my
yeah.
lightsaber. Just me and my lightsaber in the living room. Like I said, it's a rainy day. I have nothing to do except for build decks. The wife will be at work all day.
I have I was telling Bishop about this. This was the last Christmas gift my father got me, and I haven't been able to uh, start it. It's a model of Gundam I've never heard of, but he looks cool as fuck, called the Crossbone Gundam. I have that, and then I have my favorite Gundam, the Wing Zero. I think I'm going to start that. I think I'm going to start today putting these together for the first time.
I gotta do more research on that Gundam tabletop that we were talking about last week.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a skirmish game, but they build little figures out of like Lego. I might have to look into that. I tried to watch Gundam, but it's not on Crunchyroll or Funimation.
What, Double O?
Yeah,
I have them. I can give them to you.
I have to do that. I tried to watch them the other day. I
I
probably
think you
won't get.
guys, for the homework tonight, or for this week, I think I'm going to give you guys each something different. I haven't quite decided on what I want to give you yet. But I know I want Bishop to start My Hero, so that's probably going to be what it is for him.
Uh,
I'm not sure with you yet.
I'm caught up on My Hero. Well, I will be caught up later today. I think I'm like 2 episodes behind on the dub.
I might have you do 1,000 Year Blood War. Now I'll decide.
That's on Disney Plus.
It's on Hulu.
Hulu. I have Hulu. I could do that. Let me jot that down in the old notes, because I will forget.
Well, I haven't. Yeah, I mean, we'll go over it in a little bit. How long have we been on so far?
An hour.
Have we been on an hour now? Okay.
1,000 year. Or what? Hulu.
Yeah, because you watched the first couple episodes of the original Bleach, so you should be able to do 1,000 Year Blood War pretty well.
Yeah. With anything, if like I'm too many episodes behind, especially like thousands or hundreds of episodes, I just
Yeah.
YouTube. Just
That's fine, honestly.
I
You
just
can do that and then watch 1,000 Year Blood War. You can watch a recap. There's who did it? That guy I was telling you about. That one of my favorite YouTubers. Totally Not Mark. He
yeah
does a breakdown. He does a total breakdown of Bleach, and he does a great job of it. So yeah, go watch his breakdown of Bleach and then watch 1,000 Year Blood War. You'll be fine.
yeah that's probably what I'll do, because I don't have the time or the energy to watch all that Bleach.
Matter of fact, I might just do that as your guys' homework. Bishop, you do the same thing. Go watch. I'll even send you the links, and then watch 1,000 Year Blood War.
I'm watching 1,000 Year Blood War.
Yeah,
I think that's what we're gonna do for Josh's homework for this week. I'll send in our group chat, or even on here. I'll send you the links to Totally Not Mark's YouTube with his breakdown of Bleach, and then after that, start 1,000 Year Blood War.
got it. Can do. If I don't start Clone Wars today, but if I do, I'll get to 1,000 Year Blood War tomorrow. I don't have too much going on today. Just a tournament today, and that's it.
Is there anything else we want to talk about?
Bishop.
Yeah, I guess. There's a new game called X Defiant coming out. It's like Ubisoft's take on Call of Duty with a bunch of old Call of Duty developers.
Oh yeah, you were talking about that yesterday at work. Thursday at work.
I played it and it's pretty fucking sweet.
What's it called?
It's called X Defiant.
X Defiant. Let me jot that down in the notes.
Is it a shooter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, it's like a bunch of ex-COD developers made a Ubisoft version of Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
They took like a bunch of like landmarks from various Ubisoft games, weapons from Ubisoft games, and characters from Ubisoft games, like with their abilities, and put them into this. So like you have like like the Ghost Squad from Ghost Recon. What the hell was it? Advanced Warfighter, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got that. Then you have like the Splinter Cell. Then you have the group from Far Cry 6. And then there's like a little bit of the Division put into it. So it's like almost like kind of like a hero shooter. Like we have like a bit like one ability and then an ultimate, but it's grounded in reality basically.
How
It's just-
was the Division? Because I heard a lot of bad reviews, and I never ended up playing it.
It's
the
fun.
first one was fucking sick. The second one, I fucking hated it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I loved like the the whole atmosphere of the first game. It's snowy fucking New York, and there's some kind of disease going around. Then you go do these missions, get new guns and gear and stuff, and then you go into like the quarantine zone, dark zone, I think it was called, and fight other players, extract shit, and get out. That was cool, but like the second one, not it.
I remember when the Division was getting ready to come out, I saw a whole bunch of trailers for it, and people were just losing their minds on how sweet like the map system was.
Yeah,
It was especially fun if you had a couple buddies.
yeah.
Hmm.
No,
Well,
the
that's how
first one
Call of Duty
was
is. Call of Duty is really only fun if you have friends that you can play.
yeah. But yeah, X Defiant. Everyone's calling it the COD killer. I don't
Can you
think it is
spell
the
that
COD
for me?
killer. X Defiant.
Just X, not EX.
Yeah, just X, and then Defiant.
I'm looking for it. It's not showing up on Steam.
It's on Ubisoft's launcher. If
Mm.
you go on
Oh,
Google,
okay.
yeah, if you go on,
I have the Ubisoft launcher as
yeah,
well.
if
I'll
you
do
go
that
on,
later.
yeah, it's not out yet. It's still in beta. Like the beta ends tomorrow. I just got a free key from SteelSeries, but from what I've played so far, I really like it. Everyone says it's the COD killer. I don't think it is because it's a free to play game.
Hmm.
It's a good COD alternative. Like it feels like old school COD with like Cold War visuals, old school map design. Because like the map design of these maps are really fucking good, except for one. Um, and then just like the visuals of the game is like really, really good. Like it's not like something like absolutely insane, but like for what it is, it's really good.
I'll have to
Um,
check it out.
yeah, it's a fun game.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Me
I'm
too.
always down for a new game. I have to pick
I'm not.
Hogwarts Legacy back up though.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I got to finish that.
I'm
Yeah,
not
I think
sure
we said that in
exactly
every
what you
episode
said.
so far. We all got to finish it.
yeah. That's actually I'll probably have to put a couple hours into that today because if not, then I just wasted $60 and I'll be pissed.
Well, see, I didn't buy it. My buddy bought it for me. So
I remember that. Yeah.
Lucky you.
yeah,
Okay, well, that'll be the end of our Snow Days podcast. And Bishop, Matt, I will see you all Monday at work, and hopefully a lot of other people come and check this out and enjoy our time. And my Bootsy also says bye.